In this section, we will start solving problems based upon the concept of exponential equations. So let's take a quick recap for the formulas. So first, function t is equal to a 1 plus r upon 100 raised to power t if it is about growth, and if it is a 1 minus r upon 100 raised to power t, it's decay. But if rate is not given, right, it's given like it doubles or it triples like this. So mostly we use y is equal to ab to the power x, right? So here b is the growth factor or the decay factor. And if you want to go in detail about this concept, you could go to the part 1 where I have discussed that actually this and this can be written as b and what is the condition. Okay. Now let's see question number 1. See, this practice session has been divided into 3 different parts. One is the basic section where we will solve only these 3 formulas directly and solve the questions. Part 2 will be about intermediate type of questions where the difficulty level will be a little bit higher. And the last part will require high order thinking skills questions. So we are going step by step so that it becomes easy for you. Okay, let's do it. A town has 500 people. Okay, so that means when we started, number of people is 500. So that is A, the initial value. Population grows 8% per year. What is the population after 5 years? So because it's the growth condition and rate is given, so we are going to use population after time t is equal to a, which is the initial population, 1 plus r upon 100 raised to power t. So t is the input here. So this and this will be same because this is about input. Now question is population after 5 years. That means at place of p, t we have to plug in 5. A is the initial value. That means in the beginning itself, which is 500. And 1 plus, what is rate of interest? 8% after 5 years, right? Now after this we have to simply do all the calculations, nothing else. And for doing the calculations, like first we must know how to divide by 100 and how to add 1 decimals in 1. These are the 2 skills which are required here. Let's do one by one. 8%. Now I have to convert it into decimal, right? 8 is actually 8 point, and you can put on as many zeros as you want. It's not going to affect the basic value, upon 100. Now when we divide by 100 or 1000 or number of zeros, then the decimal moves to left hand side like this. Now it has to move 2 points. Right now decimal is here, 1 and 2. It will move 2 points. So finally it will become here. So the number will be decimal 08. Concept number 1. Concept number 2, if I have to add decimals. Now always remember, like if it is a proper number and you have to put decimal, it's like this. And when we add or subtract, decimal should be below decimal. So it's decimal 08. So now it is 1.08, right? So we will take these 2 points into account. That is equal to 500, 1 plus 0.08 raised to power 5 according to this concept, and then that is equal to 500. If we add like this, 1.08 raised to power 5. Now this is a high power, right? So definitely we can use a calculator in this. Let's do that. So this is equal to 734.6640384. Let's rub this. Okay, leave it. And we have to answer to whole number. So that means we have to remove the decimal. So that means if this number is 5 or greater than 5, we increase this number by 1, right? So that will be 735. So our answer is, after 5 years, number of people will be 735 if population grows by 8% per year with initial amount of 500 people. Perfect. So let's say this is people. Now let's come to question number 2. This much amount is invested at 6% annual interest, compounded annually. What is the balance after 10 years? Now, this word may confuse you that what is the meaning of compounded annually, but don't worry. In last question of today's series, we will cover this particular word compounded annually in a little bit detail. But for now, let's do question number 2. Okay, again, this is growth. So that is about amount after time t is equal to initial amount A, 1, because it's interest and growth factor, so r upon 100 raised to power time. Okay, let's put the values. Initial amount is A, that is 2000. Rate of interest is 6%, and for after how many years? 10 years, raised to the power 10. Now we have to do the same concept. Like here, if it is 8 upon 100, so decimal moved 2 points, right? So similarly, if I apply it here, that will be 1 plus decimal 0.6 raised to power 10, and here it is 2000. Again, if you have to add the decimal, decimal should be below decimal. So if I add 1 plus this will become 2000, 1.06 raised to the power 10. So let's use calculator. This is 3581.695,39309. Yes, I think I have written correctly. Okay. So amount after 10 years. Now again we have to round it off to nearest rupee or dollar, whatever unit we are taking. So because we have to round it off, this number is greater than 5. So we will increase this 1 by 1, and that will be $3,582 or rupees. Okay. Now in first and second question, rate of interest is given. So we are using 1 plus r upon 100 because both are about growth. But in question number 3, if you see, there is no rate of interest. It's that bacteria is doubled, right? No rate of interest. So the better or the correct option is y is equal to ab to the power x. Now one more important word you have to see here is 3 years. 3 hours. So bacteria doubles after 3 hours. Now see, if I see this question and I think, okay, let's not apply the formula first and see the question concept carefully. I can do it literally without formula. So 1500 is in the beginning, right? That means the 0th hour. That means when we just started. After 3 hours, it doubles. That means it becomes 3000. Then again after 3 hours, it becomes double of 3000, which is 6000. And then again after 3 hours, it becomes double of 6,000, which is 12,000. So 3 plus 3 plus 6, now it's 9 hours, and 12,000 is the number of bacteria. This is how, if you take it like conceptually. But if you have to show your work in the form of exponential equation, then how will you do it? You need the number of bacteria, right, after certain time, and initial bacteria is 500 and growth factor is doubled, right? So it's not per hour, it's not per hour, it's 3 hours. So if you have to calculate for 9 hours, you have to divide it by 3 hours, because there will be total 3 different calculations. So that is 1500, 2 to the power 3. That is an important point here, right? So just try to understand it. And if you do this, 1500, 2 to the 4 to the 8, and that is again 1 lakh, sorry, 12,000. 12,000, my bad. Okay. So here we have not used the rate of concept thing, rate of interest thing. Question number 4. A radioactive substance has a half-life of 5.27 years. Now again in this question, I'll try to solve it without using any formula. A radioactive substance has a half-life. That means decay factor is half, because now the radioactive substance is, decaying. If you start by 80 grams, how much remains after 15.81 years? Okay. Now, if it is 80 grams in the beginning, right? So after 5.27 years, it will, okay, not hours, it's years. It remains half-life, 40. Again, after 5.27 years, it becomes half of 40, which is 20. Again, after 5.27 years, it becomes half of 20, which is 10. So if I do it 3 times, overall years are 15.81 if you add all of these, right? So after 15.81 years, it will be 10 gram. So that is simply without using the formula. But if you have to use the formula, it will be like y is equal to AB. Let's write the formula first. So you have to calculate y. Initially, the radioactive substance is 80. Growth factor is half. Now, if it is 5.27 years, so for 15.81 years, you have to do calculation 3 times, right? So that is equal to 80. 2 to the 4, 1 by 2 raised to power 3 means 1 by 2 times 1 by 2 times 1 by 2. So that is 2 to the 4 to the 8, and that is 10 grams. So you do it by formula or you do it simply concept wise. Both ways are correct. Now, for this question, per month. Population, here we are taking the reading per month. Per month. Why I am, giving so much stress of per month? Because next question is little bit different. So per month and 8 months. So population after time t, where t is in months, is equal to A. Now because it's decreasing and it's a decay factor, it is 1 minus r upon 100 raised to power t, which is in months. So after 8 months, because we have to calculate it after 8 months, what is the initial population? 1200. What is the decay factor? 4%. And it's 8 months. Perfect. Now if we go by the concepts we have learned before, that is decimal 0.04 to the power 8. Now I have to subtract. So how will we subtract? 1 is actually this, and it is decimal 0.4. So this is 10 and this is 9. If calculator is allowed, no problem in that. You can do that. But why not learn a little bit of basics too? If we are not very much, uh, comfortable with this calculation. Now it's all about calculators. So P of 8 is equal to 865.667494,781. You have to round it off to whole number. So that means we don't want this decimal. So we will need the number after the decimal, which is 6, 5 or greater than 5. So it will be increased by 1, and that is 866. So if in the beginning the population is 1200, after 8 months the population is 866. It's decreasing. Okay. Now question number 6. 10,000 is invested at 4.5 annually, compounded monthly. Now here is a catch. If I write amount after t times, right, and because it's increasing, 1 plus r upon 100 and time here, you will say time as months or years, because it is compounded annually, compounded monthly, but that is the annual rate of interest. So what is t here? It is months or years. So to understand this, we will expand this formula a little bit more. How? Let's come out of the question and let's understand the concept first. Suppose you have invested $1,000, right? And rate of interest is, let's say, okay, 4.5%, and it's compounded annually, and here again you have to do for 1 year, not this question. So it is the initial amount, it is the rate of interest, compounded annually, right? So you will do it like this. But if it is compounded half yearly, then there's, if it is half year, rate of interest will also be half. So that will be half of 4.5, and this 1 by 100 is as it is. And because you are going to get interest twice in a year, so it will be 2 times in a year. But what if it is compounded quarterly? That means you are going to get interest 4 times in a year. In that case, rate of interest will also be 1/4, right? And this 1 by 100 is as it is, and raised to power 4. So that is the concept here, right? Now it is compounded monthly, not even quarterly. So it is compounded monthly, right? So 1,000, 1 plus 4.5, because you are going to get interest 12 times. So that is 12, and rate of interest will be by 12, and this 1 by 100 is as it is. Now if you understand the concept well, right? So this is 12 months. This is 1 year. This is again 1 year, but written in the form of months. If I derive a formula according to this condition, then my new formula is A of t is equal to A 1 plus r% upon m, right? For example, months here, and here it is divided like 2 and 4 and 12, and here it is multiplied, right? Raised to power 6. Now I have to convert it into months, so that will be 12 months. Okay, I am writing the formula. So it is t times m, right? So if it is compounded annually, compounded monthly, or compounded quarterly, or compounded half yearly, see the question carefully. These both should be same, right? Then this m is not required. But here rate of interest is annually and compounded monthly, so I am going to use this formula. Okay, So 8 of t is equal to $10,000. 1 plus rate of interest is 4.5 because it is compounded monthly into 1 upon 100. And if I do 12, that means that will be for 1 year, but I have to calculate it for 6 years, so that will be multiplied by 6. Now the rest of the job is of calculator. 1 plus decimal 0.00375 raised to the power 12. It is 10,000. 1 times 1.30930. Okay, now when I am multiplying, then decimal will move to right hand side. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And the decimal will move like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So it will be here 13093 decimal 0. And if you have 0 after this decimal, so no need to write this. So the amount is 13093 because this is amount. So rupee or dollar, whatever, rupee or dollar. Okay, so yeah, okay. So 6 questions are in part 1, and then in part 2 we will do a little bit of higher difficulty level questions.